So please, very warmly and loudly, welcome Jean-Noël Barrot on stage. Thank you.
Esteemed faculty and dear colleagues, dear families and friends, class of 2025, congratulations. And welcome to the club. No more training you require. Already know you that which you need. A Jedi you will be. Thus spoke Master Yoda to Luke Skywalker before passing away in The Return of the Jedi. A cinematic masterpiece that hit the screens in 1983, the year when I was born. And for someone like me, acting as a foreign affairs minister, dealing with war, with peace, with the rise of empires, Star Wars basically serves as a timeless textbook. But let's rewind. I grew up in the 90s. It was a blessed childhood, somewhere between Jurassic Park and The Lion King, when dinosaurs felt real and Hakuna Matata was a legitimate life philosophy. We genuinely believed we would grow up to dance with the Spice Girls, save the world with the Power Rangers, or hack the Matrix like Neo. My role models were some kind of mix of Forrest Gump for his wide-eyed optimism, the Men in Black for their style, and Léon for the French panache. Life was as simple as keeping a Tamagotchi alive. A few years later, Beyoncé decided to go solo, The Lords of the Rings swept the Oscars, and Nokia phones were still practically unbreakable. That's when I walked through the gates of HEC as a Grand École student, armed with ambition, polyphonic ringtones, and a Hotmail address. And like all of you, I'm forever grateful to this school. I received so much from my 3 years on this campus. I stepped into a community to which I belong forever. I made friendships that will last a lifetime. I learned skills that I still use today. Campaigning for BDE was the first time I ever ran for office. Sadly, we lost. But what does not kill you makes you stronger. And you know what? I also learned ropes that I wish I could still use in my daily life. These include rolling out carpets, being the last one standing on a Thursday night pole, dancing in countless choreographies, and there are also other skills that I will not disclose in front of your families, in front of Eloïc Perrache, but that you know perfectly, don't you? And when came commencement day, I felt the overwhelming joy and pride that you are experiencing today, sitting with your families and friends in gowns and hoods. In summary, I had a very happy youth in a world that seemed to never have been so peaceful and so prosperous, but that was already starting to fall apart. Milestone after milestone reshaped our landscape. 9/11 and the rise of global terrorism. 2008 and the subprime crisis. 2014 and the beginning of the war in Ukraine. 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic. Growing global disorders progressively challenged some of the most deeply rooted certainties and habits that we had lived with for decades. Certainty of peace, certainty of prosperity, certainty of democracy. Gradually and silently, the world was becoming a different place. We were leaving the 20th century behind with no clear perspective on what the 21st century would look like. And I was curious to understand what was at stake, how this emerging world would really work. And that's why I made a choice that surprised my classmates. When I got to the last year of the Grande École program, I did not choose any of the most popular majors: finance, entrepreneurship, strategic management. No, instead I turned to academia, to academic research. And I enrolled for 5 more years on HEC campus to start a PhD program. And this, friends, was a life-changing experience. I basically learned to look at the world with open eyes and an unbiased mind, challenging the obvious, distinguishing causality from correlation, rejecting hypotheses one by one, drawing lessons to guide policy. And in these endeavors, I stood on the shoulders of giants, extraordinary minds who dedicate their life to advance the knowledge frontier, outstanding mentors who shepherd their students from executive education to MBAs and masters with boundless dedication, faithful supporters of this school who ensure that HEC Paris is forever #1, faculty. Stand up with me to cheer the one and unique HEC faculty. No one in my career has stimulated and supported me as much as the finance faculty during my years at HEC. They've made me a better researcher and a better person. And as I'm standing before you humbled, I cannot help thinking of Professor David Tesmar, my PhD advisor, whose enthusiasm and genius dragged me into academia, from whom I got so much inspiration and to whom I owe so much. Of Professor Antoinette Shaw, who hired me at MIT, who gave me tough time, and who got me to raise my level of ambition for myself by several orders of magnitude. And finally, of Professor Denis Gron, who was loved by his students, by your predecessors, by his colleagues, who helped me make some of the most difficult decisions in my life, who left this school too early and who we miss dearly. Crossing paths with them and others was a rare privilege, and I'm eternally grateful, and I know you are too. Because graduates of the class 2025, as you step out of this campus, never stop cherishing faculty. Cherish your professors. Your professors are an elite, the special forces of science, fighters of a cause, fighters of a cause that is today under attack. Science is questioned, science is mistrusted, science is politicized. Yet the truth is simple: we need more research, more academic freedom, more science, not less. Free and open science. Because science is key for knowledge. How can we improve living conditions on Earth, save lives, extend life expectancy if we do not allow for the competitive emulation of a vibrant academic community? Science is key for democracy. How can we have a productive debate if we cannot agree on facts? If polarized factions fight over fake news on social networks, if truth is being engineered for political purposes. Science is key for prosperity. How can we lift people out of poverty, increase welfare, advance our economies without the decisive input of social sciences, without the tough discipline of peer review, without policy evaluation? So friends, we have been trained in one of the most prestigious schools in the world, and we are grateful for it. And we stand for free and open science. We stand for academic freedom. For there are places around the world where university is no longer a sanctuary, but an area of political control, where students' protests can mean arrests, where classrooms may be watched, where a tweet can send a professor to jail, where books are removed from the shelves, where databases are erased, where research topics are forbidden, and where funding is used as political leverage. And friends, we reject the fog of obscurantism. We reject political and religious restrictions to research. We reject attempts to intimidate researchers and redirect their work. And yes, we stand. We stand with free spirits who dream beyond limits, with faculty and students who dare, with journalists who give voices to the unseen. We stand with universities facing the threat of government control, restriction to their funding, constraints on their curricula or research projects. And yes, my friends, we stand with Harvard faculty, with Harvard students. They are facing unjustified stress and anxiety right now, and we express our full solidarity. We tell them, rest assured, we stand with you. Should US courts uphold decisions to ban international students, France will offer a safe place to complete their degrees. And I'm certain, dear Eloïc, that the doors of HEC Paris will be open, wide open. President Macron said it clearly last month in La Sorbonne. Europe will remain firmly committed to academic freedom, to free and open science, to unfettered research. To faculty and students around the world, I say our arms are wide open. Join us now. Academic freedom is a core pillar of democracy. To those around the world who intend to dismantle it, we will never concede. Dear graduates, knowledge is only meaningful when it leads to action. And for you all, this time has come. You have worked days and nights to acquire knowledge. Congratulations. This decree, this piece of paper you are about to receive, is the most powerful weapon to change the world. And we count on you. You're about to leave this campus and take the highest positions in the largest companies, the largest organizations in the world. And I have no doubt that you will thrive, that you will create value, that you will make a difference. And in this endeavor, I wish you good luck. But I also want to share an idea with you about something you learned here on HEC campus. Perhaps even without noticing it. Something that is so important in this emerging world, in this blurry 21st century. Listen up. there is one single office more valuable than any other, the office of citizen. At HEC, you and I have been trained by the best to marketing, management, finance, strategy, economics, law. But beyond that, HEC gave us the tools of knowledge, reason, critical thinking, openness to the world. Our journey on this campus got us to consider that we are part of a broader whole. Our community, our school, our nation, our humanity. I was never trained by HEC to become a Minister of Foreign Affairs, but I was trained to become a citizen, and being a citizen later qualified me to become a Minister of Foreign Affairs. And the same goes for all of you. Every step of the way, all along your prestigious careers, be the citizens that HEC has trained you to be. And as the old world is collapsing before our very eyes, in Ukraine, in Gaza, in Sudan, in the Great Lakes of Africa, in Myanmar, as the dire consequences of climate change are already displacing and starving millions, as trade wars are breaking the global economy apart, as democracy is now under assault, we need you, your talent, your energy, your drive. We need citizens to seize the weapons of the spirit, the weapons of knowledge, to resist. Resist violence and brute force. Resist resentment and revenge. Resist indifference and resignation. And rather than being spectators of the crumbling of the old world, you now have the power to be the actors of the new one. You have the power to say no, so use it. Listen to your soul. Let your conscience speak. And be ready to answer when citizenship calls. Peace, freedom, democracy, climate change, poverty, none of these global challenges will be solved without the rise of a new generation of citizens, our generation. Now, I'm seeing some people getting worried in the audience. Is this guy on stage asking me to drop the dream job I just got and become an activist? No, I'm not. I'm not asking you to drop your job at Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, or Mistral AI. I'm calling upon you to behave as a citizen, both within your job and outside. There are many ways and many spaces to make a difference. And we should not let anyone else decide for ourselves. We are in charge. So let's stand up. Let's get ready to lead, to serve, and to shape the future, because the future is ours. So congratulations again to all of you. All the best on the road ahead, and may the force be with you.